example, today, I feel very sad with the sort of thing that is happening in various parts of the country, especially in the north. And recently, I learned about this group from Sokoto, Shadira, Lakurawa, yes, Lukrawa, and I understand that they came from Mali. They came from Mali. Yes, so there it is, and so a new group coming in and to create some problem for us. Yes, so I think let me say that I'm certainly very honored and delighted that you are able to come and see me, and the introduction that you all made of yourself, etc. Touched me very much indeed.
Former head of state and a war veteran, Yakubu Gowon, is lamenting the incessant rise of insecurity in northern Nigeria. Gowon is making reference to the newly militant group that have emerged in Sokoto state that came from Mali, and is complaining bitterly at the spate of killings and insecurity in northern Nigeria. In case you are not aware, I know you are aware, Gowon was the former head of state. He was the war veteran, the one that led the war against the Biafran people. The Biafran people, they said that they wanted to leave Nigeria. He led a war against them, which resulted to the death of millions of innocent civilians. The war was fought to keep Nigeria together. Ever since the war was fought to keep Nigeria together, Nigeria is just together by words, on the papers, on televisions, on news media. But when it comes to the reality of things, Nigeria is divided. Nigeria is not together. And the man who led that war to keep Nigeria together is still alive today and is experiencing the destabilization of Nigeria. He's experiencing not just the destabilization of Nigeria, but insecurity in high proportion. The worst of it is that his own people from the North Central, they are the ones that have faced high brutality of insecurity, high level of killings, not just killings, but ethnic cleansing going on in North Central. And unfortunately for him, he cannot even do anything. I mean, we're talking about Yakubu Gowon, former military head of state. He has visited Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Rock, and he could not even tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu about the insecurity in the northern Nigeria. But yet he's coming to complain that he feels bitterly about what is happening in northern Nigeria. Whatever is happening in northern Nigeria is as a result of leadership failure. And yes, Gowon is also part of that leadership failure because that war was senseless. There was no need for the war. All he needed to do was to agree on the agreement that was signed in Aburi. The Aburi Accord agreement was what Nigeria needed at that moment, not the war. Or allow the people that say they want to leave to go. After the 3 years devastating war that set this country backwards, some regions in this country are clamoring that they want to leave Nigeria. The Igbos are not the only ones now clamoring to succeed out of Nigeria. You have the Niger Delta, you have the Oduduwa, even the Middle Belt. They say they want to be on their own. Everyone is completely tired of Nigeria. The reason is because Nigeria has failed to live up to her expectations and potentials. Nigeria has failed to unite her citizens. Nigeria has failed to live in harmony, peace and prosperity. Like I said, leadership failure is the root cause of all of this. But one thing that has really threatened the peace and prosperity of this country is insecurity. Insecurity has really dealt a huge blow in the progress of this country, and it is very worse in northern Nigeria. The northern part of this country is facing an unprecedented security crisis and is marked by escalating violence from insurgent groups, bandits and communal clashes. The insecurity in northern Nigeria has devastated communities in northern Nigeria. It has disrupted the educational system in that region. It has destabilized the economy. The insecurity in the north is making a mockery of the so-called military experience of northern Nigeria. The northern Nigeria is housed to Nigeria Defense Academy. It houses Nigeria Defense Personnel and Defense Armory. Northern Nigeria has produced Nigeria's largest military generals and head of state. With all of these military accolades, they are still grappling with insecurity in that region. In 60 plus years of Nigerian independence, northern Nigeria has produced the military head of state or president of this country for a combined 40 plus years. They are the real crusaders of one Nigeria, but yet that region is being divided with so much insecurity, hunger, poverty, illiteracy, out of school children, diseases, and so much more. With the large population and uncultivated arable land in the north, The northern Nigeria has become a hotbed of violence and instability. North has been plagued by various security threats, including Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, and the violent farmer-herder clash in the north-central region. The insecurity in northern Nigeria has led to mass displacement, loss of livelihood, and the collapse of social infrastructure. Schools have been targeted by insurgents, with many students being kidnapped for ransom, leading to the closure of many educational institutions in that region. Entire communities in the northern Nigeria live in constant fear. Northern Nigeria is regarded as the food basket of this country. They are regarded as the bedrock of agriculture in this country. But the agricultural sector in northern Nigeria has been paralyzed as it is being controlled by terrorists. Farmers can hardly go to farm. Their farmland have been taken over by terrorists. Those that go to farm have to pay levies to terrorists before they can access their farmland. After production, they equally have to pay levies to terrorists before they can harvest their crops. Terrorists control territories in northern Nigeria, with the Nigerian government having little or nothing to do about it. Gowon is from Plateau State. As a military general and a former head of state, one would have expected that his region, Plateau State, would be one of the safest regions in Nigeria. Of course, Plateau State used to be one of the best places to visit in this country. Plateau State used to be the best place when it comes to security in this country. But ironically, that place has become a flashpoint for insecurity. There have been constant conflict, particularly between farmers and herders. This conflict has led to the destruction of farmlands, communal and ancestral homes. Farmers have been killed in their numbers as terrorists masquerading as Fulani herdsmen invade communal and ancestral homes and take over people's homes while setting some communities ablaze. Insecurity in Nigeria did not start during Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. It has been a long time issue. Like I said, it is as a result of leadership failure. But one of the most troubling aspects of Nigerian insecurity is the lack of accountability among past and present leaders. No one wants to be held accountable for the insecurity in the land. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is even telling you that Nigerians are secure more than ever before, whereas the figures are showing the opposite because Nigerians are living in constant fear. The insecurity we are experiencing under Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has escalated to a high proportion. Despite the alarming insecurity we have in this country, figures like Yakubu Gowon, who still wield significant influence, have often refrained from addressing these critical issues in a meaningful way. For instance, Yakubu Gowon visited Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Rock. What stopped him from telling him right in his face that you have failed in times of security? What stopped him from doing that? The silence from figures like Yakubu Gowon is what we are seeing among Nigerian elites. They are cut out from the realities of things. They don't feel the pulse of the nation. It feels like these people are living in an alternate Nigeria where there is security, where there is prosperity, where there is no inflation, where the naira is stable, where there is high employment rate. They are completely cut out from the experience of ordinary Nigerians. That's the reason why you don't see them criticizing the government in power. But though we must give it to Olusegun Obasanjo, past president of this country, who has been criticizing former leaders of this country, asking them to live up to their expectation, asking them to do the right thing. And of course, Olusegun Obasanjo has the moral obligation to do what he's doing. As his time as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo laid the framework, the groundwork for the progress of this country. Nigerians experienced the best economic reforms under President Olusegun Obasanjo. Nigeria experienced the best internal and external debt reduction under President Olusegun Obasanjo. Nigeria experienced GDP growth under President Olusegun Obasanjo. Nigeria experienced economic diversification under President Olusegun Obasanjo. Under Obasanjo administration, we have a stable judiciary, we have a stable security force, we have a stable National Assembly, a National Assembly that could challenge the third-term agenda of President Olusegun Obasanjo, the National Assembly that suspended the Senate President for alleged corruption. We have a police force that indicted and arrested former Commissioner of Police Tafa Balungu under Olusegun Obasanjo. Tell me, can we experience this kind of thing today under Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration? Absolutely no. Even the National Assembly is loyal to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Under Olusegun Obasanjo administration, PDP governors and politicians were being jailed for corruption. But today, what we are experiencing is witch hunting in the guise of fighting corruption. Politicians under the APC umbrella are exempted from any corruption charges. Former leaders bear a moral and political responsibility to contribute to the national development and stability of this country. However, many of them have distanced themselves from the very issues they helped to create or failed to address during their tenure. Look at someone like President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari contributed to the problem we are experiencing today. The debt, the failure, the insecurity, everything Nigeria is experiencing today. That man played a huge part in it, but he's silent over the issues Nigerians are facing today. He's not even contributing anything. Why, as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this man did not contribute anything, and is not contributing anything as a former president as well? Be it as it may, we all should feel concerned about the insecurity in northern Nigeria, because the failure of government to address the issue in northern Nigeria is what has led to the escalation of insecurity in every part of this country. Before APC took over the leadership affairs in this country, Southeast Nigeria used to be the safest region in this country with little or no criminal activities, but currently that region has become a beehive of criminalities. Outside Southeast, other regions in this country are facing one security challenges or the other. Therefore, we must join voices with Yakubu, Gowon and other people that are calling out the insecurity in this country. We must hold our government accountable. We should keep calling out the government to do their primary responsibility, which is to protect life and properties of Nigerians. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.